This man is already dead. He just doesn't know it yet.
As you guys heard, there was absolutely no sound effect, so things here did not go well at all. So this is a TikTok video that I got tagged in, and right here we can see this man sitting, and they're about to place this metal dome on top of him. And this action would ultimately seal his fate. He would not walk away from this, but without any context, it's hard to understand why, so let me break it down. So this incident happened back in 2017, where a monk named Lim Ba, who was a Taoist and 65 years old, decided that he was going to purify and cleanse his spirit. Lim Ba also thought that he possessed magical abilities, which would allow him to survive things and have exceptional endurance, so this sets the stage for a massive tragedy. Now, in the Taoist religion, or at least spirituality, cleansing your spirit is something that many of these monks do because it's believed that this will bring you closer to enlightenment. So keep in mind, this was Lim Ba's goal going into this. So, to prove to his followers the level of his spirituality, he decided to undergo this stunt where he would enter a human steam pot or a human wok, sit in there for around 30 to 45 minutes, and come out unscathed and increase his followers' faith. But no. Things did not go this way. At around the 30-minute mark, Lim, while he was sitting inside of this human steam pot, started knocking frantically at the sides, which prompted his followers to lift it off, and he passed out. After being removed from the steam pot, Lim started convulsing, and people attempted to save him and remove him from the heat source. However, he was pronounced deceased at the scene. And seeing as there was a large roaring fire underneath the pot that he was sitting in, it's not too hard to understand why this would be such a bad idea and extremely taxing on your body. What's even more surprising though is that this is something that Lim regularly did for at least 10 years prior to this incident. He would sit in there and steam himself, and at one point he even did this for 75 minutes, which is honestly insane. Now, what I will say is that Lim's 32-year-old son was at this ceremony as well, and usually Lim would knock to get out, but this time his knocks were irregular. And on top of this, Lim at this point during this stunt was on medication for hypertension, which is pretty much an excess of blood pressure, and he had also gone a heart bypass the year before because he was having difficulty breathing. All in all, these factors would create the perfect storm for Lim to get in this pot and, once removed, not survive. Now, of course, my heart goes out to Lim and his family and surviving relatives, but the thing is, this was something that definitely could have been prevented. It is not normal for people to get into a steam pot and do this regularly, especially if you've had a heart bypass, and if you're on heart medication, it's just not a good idea. That being said, I do know that according to the research I've done, Lim led a very fulfilling life and impacted many people, so that is obviously a large positive, but still, if you guys are thinking about doing this, don't do this, though I know most of you guys are not.